We try and see.
Preparing
Are
to
you
live streaming the meeting.
You press already?
Should I just not exit?
Can. We try.
I just exit already,
I'll just exit.
Okay, now I will press the live stream. And sorry. I exit already. I press a live stream. Now, when the meeting reach capacity, stop live stream or remind you.
This meeting is being live streamed already.
Already started?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Can.
Yeah. Give me 2 minutes. I got to take something.
Okay. Then we can continue like that. So, sister, everything pass to you. So after the meeting finish, you just end the Zoom meeting. Then the live stream will end as well. Okay.
So no need to deliberate stop live stream, huh?
No need. Just end the Zoom. Okay. Yes, cảm ơn sister.
Cảm ơn.
Okay, I will be starting soon. Another 2 minutes, right? Okay. So after I just start talking now.
现在牧人，我们不是说我们委员的天职就是去募款，他们说最主要就是要去募。
Okay, so good morning everyone to our Saturday Hualien Dharma talk. A warm welcome to the Board Masters, our brother Joe Huang, Hualien Dharma team, and brother sister around the globe. So I'm super glad here today. I'll be doing the opening for the session. So let's start. So I'll be hearing a short acceptance speech from Master, titled Title, having come to this world, we carry a mission. So the time of life always passes swiftly, and human life is inseparable from time itself. Deeply aware of how fleeting life is in this world, we must live with earnestness. Your life and mine both flow within each breath. Having come to this world, let us not forget the mission we carry. I hope everyone will be more mindful, just like Jing Yuan, Director Huang of the editorial department. When the master expounds the Dharma, she attentively contemplate the meaning within the teaching and share her reflection on the story of the 4 birds that comes to the main hall to listen to the Dharma. Accepted by Sister Ho Sing Chin from Master Chen Yen Dharma Teaching and Charity Mission Achievement reported on 2nd March 2026. Okay, Kangen for Master Teachers. So, now let us send our sincere prayers into the 10th direction. May the Saha land be free from disaster and peace will be well in the world. Let us sing the prayer song with sincere piety. Okay, so let us put our palms together and sing this song.
In my heart, I feel deep gratefulness. All my heart is filled with sincere prayer. From all corners of the world, let us join our hearts and pray for a world of harmony and peace. In my heart, I feel deep gratefulness. May all the Buddhas hear my prayer. All united with one heart, let us end our hate with love. May there be no suffering hereafter.
Okay, may all minds be purified, may there be peace in the community, and may there be no disaster in this world. Okay, so let us say the prayer for universal love and blessing. With loving respect, gratitude, and confidence, let us wish every person in our lives a healthy body, an enlightened mind, and a total fulfillment in universal love. Now, let us expand this consciousness to include every person in the world, every being in the universe. Let us unify our love, make this wonderful world even better. Let us all immerse ourselves in the joyful embrace of universal love. Okay, So before we hear the wonderful sharing, let us invite our Dharma masters to lead us in paying homage to the Triple Gem. Let us pay our respect to this teaching and explanation to the Buddha, Master Cheng, by making 3 sincere bows. Please rise. Okay, put our palms together. First bow. Second bow. And third bow. And a bow to our beloved board master who joined us today. Okay. So today on our agenda, we have Brother Huang for Dharma Insight and Brother Shu Tjeng for learning and disaster relief efforts. And also Sister Hui will be sharing on service others and growing within. So let us invite Sister Shu Tjeng for the weekly summary.
Thank you so much, Sister Mabel.
Yeah, over to you, Sister.
Thank you, thank you.
And
And okay, you can hear me all right. Today the slides look a bit different, quite a bit. I've been playing around with AI. So this is the Saturday Hualien for last week. And here are our 3 speakers. So the AI actually even summarized what the essence was. And the first one is by Brother Huang. In Zimbabwe, with a heavy heart was found as Brother Tino was laid into the ground. Brother Joe shared news that cut so very deep, while many felt a sorrow that they would keep. So this is honoring Brother Tino, who served with tireless will to dig more than 4,000 wells of hope across Zimbabwe. Our master turned from grief to festive light, a shift of mood that showed her inner might. Though wars may rage and prices start to climb, we must find focus in this testing time. The world is tipping toward a darker way unless we choose to help and act each day. Sincerity is lost without a goal to bring a sense of comfort to the soul. Like Hualien heroes when the floods grew high, we show our strength beneath a stormy sky. Be diligent and let the goodness flow to shift the balance as we onward go. Okay. Then we had the Q&A with Brother David Liu. So the first question is, karma belongs to just one lonely human spirit. Can prayer provide comfort when we are standing near it? Does sending a blessing change a difficult condition to assist a person who carries a heavy mission? The answer Brother David gave was, a prayer acts as a very helpful supporting connection to guide a person towards a much safer direction. It lights up the darkness like a small burning candle, giving a courage that a weary traveler can handle. So it looks like this. So prayer and support is just to lighten the road and it will make easy the walk. But the lamp won't walk for him. He still has to walk by himself. The second question is, why does the master say spirits watch a person? To prevent a bad behavior from starting to worsen? Does the number 3 have a very specific meaning, or is it a metaphor that we are gleaning? The answer is, the number is just an adjective for being cautious, lest our bad behavior should ever make us nauseous. It means to think deeply before we take action and keep our behavior from causing a bad reaction. Okay, it looks like this. Then the third question is, if a medical doctor suggests an animal-based product, is that a rule that we must strictly conduct? Can we take a supplement to heal a condition and still remain faithful to our spiritual tradition? The answer is, the Buddha's teachings are very flexible and holistic. They are not meant to be rigid or simplistic. You may take the medicine for your own healing while keeping a compassionate and very honest feeling. So this is just to show that where health approach is on the y-axis, and then on the x-axis is rule adherence, the holistic path is what we should aim for, because Buddhism is never meant to be rigid. Okay, then we had The Vibrant Body by Brother Teck Wee. To help the elders move and feel so strong, Brother Teck Wee leads a group that gets along. With sign language, they find a brand new way to keep the mind and body sharp each day. The giants of the old can bring a fall, but exercise can help to stand up tall. Isolation is a heavy weight to bear, yet joy is found within the circle's care. The workers are like bees within a hive, with moral values keeping goals alive. They act with speed when trouble hits the land to offer up a steady helping hand. Eat plenty beans and find your B12 too to keep your system feeling fresh and new. With flax and chia, keep the brain so bright and rest within a spirit of delight. So the universal blessing is, may there be peace in the community. May there be no disasters in this world. And for listening, stop share and hand over to Sister Wai Fong to introduce our next speakers. Thank you so much.
感恩 Sister Shu Tjeng for the summary of last week's warm sharing. Warm welcome to everyone. Wonderful to see all of you today again, connected in this platform, even though we may be miles apart. And thank you, Sister Mabel, for opening this platform and your gentle opening remarks. And this morning, we are again blessed to have a meaningful program with 3 speakers from 3 different parts of Shu Tjeng family, each bringing inspiring insights to share. To begin, it's my pleasure to introduce our first speaker. Please join me in welcoming Brother Joe Huang, who is joining us all the way from Hualien. Brother Joe will be sharing some Dharma insights with us. Brother Joe, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Sister Wai Fong, and thank you, everybody. Good morning, everybody, and we are back to our Saturday weekly Dharma review. I think it's always a pleasure to be here to share what I have gathered, and I think this is a moment in time where our life crosses. Now, if you imagine that everybody on this planet and their lives hardly ever crosses each other. Imagine that if you, the different lives that you come across every day, and that number couldn't possibly be very big, even though there are, more than 1 billion people on this planet. I'm sorry, more than 7 billion people on this planet, that the chances of us encountering everybody else is very difficult. Yet at this time, our life crosses at this time, and that we are crossed and sharing this moment in life together, especially every week. And I think that's always a special occasion. That's always something that we should remember, something that we should cherish. So thank you all for being here. And as usual, I will share my thoughts and feelings on the Sutra of Infinite Meanings as part of the Singapore English Dharma book study. Now, with the Singapore book study, I go much faster. But here I have the pleasure of being able to slow down and really go slower and try to figure out and try to go in deeper as I see, as I feel the need. So I think it's over here on this platform, I feel more that we're able to expand into a particular issue or particular segment that as necessary. So we've spent actually a long time on chapter 1, virtues. And now we're getting into the preaching, which is chapter 2. Now, this is the chapter where the Buddha actually began talking. So in virtues, in chapter 1, remember that all the content in chapter 1 were mostly praising the role models, the bodhisattvas, the followers, the disciples, praising them for what they have done, for what they have accomplished, for what they have achieved. That's in virtues. And then there's furthermore praises at the end of virtues, which praises the accomplishments of the Buddha, or for all the things that the Buddha had achieved. So you praise the role models of the class first, and then you end with the praise, singing the praises for the Buddha, the teacher, because now the teacher is about to speak. So this is what we do, right? We are usually when we come back to Taiwan and we have a meeting with master, that's what we do too, right? We first share among ourselves. We share what we have accomplished. This is what we did. This is what we do. For example, for many of you, maybe we have come back to Taiwan and share about our stories in Buddha land, in India or in Nepal. So at that moment, we share what we do, we share our accomplishments, and we share our feelings. And then, of course, there are times when we will praise each other. So and so did a very good job. So and so did something that I was very proud of. So and so did something that I admire a lot. That's virtues. That's exactly what it is. Master hasn't said anything. Master has only commented, but Master was not the main character. Master was not the protagonist of the first part. That's the same thing, right? So, and obviously, in everybody's sharing, we will always end, most likely, with thanks to Master, thanks to Tzu Chi that we're here. If without Tzu Chi, we couldn't possibly do all these things. We couldn't possibly achieve all these things. So slowly, eventually, we will go into the final stages of our sharing, which is we will all kneel down and we will all basically thank Master and we will make our vow. We will be willing, we are willing to do what's necessary to perpetuate this path. Thanks to Master, we love you. Those are the things that we put at the end of our sharing as part of the group vow. And then it ends. And then it began, right? It began Master talking. So this particular sutra follows the same way. It first starts out with all the disciples talking to each other, praising each other, singing the praises of the Buddha, of the teacher, and singing the praises of each other because of what each other has accomplished. And that's exactly what it is. Then it moves into the main course, the main teaching, which is chapter 2. So, in other words, this is what we are used to. We just didn't realize it looks this way. Now, if we look at the Lotus Sutra, it's the same thing. In chapter 1, in the introduction, chapter 1 of the Lotus Sutra, Buddha also did not say anything. It was all between among all the disciples and followers. Okay, so something that we should always remember is that in both of these sutras, Sutra of Infinite Meanings and the Lotus Sutra, the Buddha only began talking in chapter 2, okay, not in chapter 1. Chapter 1 was more of a warm-up, was more of a discussion, interaction among all the disciples and the followers. It was more of a setting, making sure that we are prepared and then we gear up for what's to come next. Now, in chapter 2, that's the beginning of the teaching. Okay. Now, that us now going into the passages, and as we go through the passages, that I think is important, that I will point out certain important aspects. And now some of these we have already gone through already, but I always wanted to go back to them to make sure that we remember what it actually means. So the passage goes like this. At that time, great magnificent Bodhisattva Mahasattva and the 80,000 Bodhisattva Mahasattvas, having finished this verse in praise of the Buddha, said to the Buddha. Okay, so the beginning of this second chapter began with a question from the students, the great magnificent Bodhisattva Mahasattva, and the 80,000 Bodhisattvas. So these are the role models that were talked about in chapter 1. In chapter 1, we talked about the praises for these role models and the praises for the Buddha. The praise of the Buddha came at the end. So that's why it continues on. After finishing the praise of the Buddha, they said to the Buddha, right? So the main protagonists right now are the people that ask the question. And the Buddha had to reply. So this becomes the main body. This becomes the main body of the entire thing. So after all the interaction between the students, the actual conversation between the student asking the question and the teacher answering, that's the actual body of this sutra. Okay, so now begins the conversation. So the protagonists are these people, right? They are these awakened sentient beings. They're these already very close, much more awakened, much more enlightened than us. But they're not there yet. They're still learning. They're like the TAs, right? The teacher's assistant. They're closer to finishing the course, but they're not there yet, just like us. But they're closer. They know more. And so that's why they're still needing the teachings from the Buddha. That's why they need to request teachings. So what did they say? So even someone as great as Bodhisattva Mahasattva is still learning. So there are different levels of learning, right? There are people that's failing the classes. There are people that's doing okay. And then there are people that's doing well. And then there are people that's doing very well. There are these different people in the class. And these are the closest. They are achieving great awakening and enlightenment. But they're still learning. And they still need to seek answers. And they're also helping the Buddha to facilitate this topic. Right? Some people in the audience might not remember, might not understand, might not have heard this path or this teaching. They wanted to, in a way of asking the question, learning for themselves, seeking answer for themselves, but also requesting a further explanation, the further teaching from the teacher, such that it could help them, but also everybody else that's also in audience. Something that would help everybody else to understand. So they're doing this question. They ask, because most of the time, we don't even know how to ask the question. We don't even know when to begin asking the question, right? A lot of times when the presenter says, well, do you have any questions? Most of us were still digesting what we had just heard. So it's really difficult for us to right away and digest it and be able to ask something that's meaningful. We might have a lot of questions, but we don't know how to ask them. Because these questions we're thinking, is it right? Is it okay for me to ask? Oh, no, these questions are stupid. These are stupid questions. They're dumb. They're foolish questions that I don't want to ask. And because of that, many people just kept their silence. And I'm one of them too. Whenever somebody says, do we have any questions? Most of us, including me, will be silent. We're not asking questions because we don't know how, or we feel that we might be embarrassed. That's why these role models, the Bodhisattva Mahasattvas, they are the one asking the question because they knew most of the people don't know how to ask questions. So they ask the questions, right? Somebody like them, they know, they understand, and they are asking questions that will help benefit everybody. Okay, so a particular person, the leader of the group, is called Great Magnificent Bodhisattva Mahasattva. That is his title. That's his name or his alias. That's his name. Great Magnificent Bodhisattva Mahasattva. That is his name. And that's what he is, the leader of all the Bodhisattva Mahasattva. He was the one leading to ask the question. What did he say? World Honor One, we 80,000 Bodhisattva now would like to ask about the Dharma. We do not know whether the World Honor One will mercifully honor us by listening. And I think this is very important, right? This is the right attitude. I've always thinking about this. As a student, we are humbled in front of our teacher. And the way that you're humble, it's not just your action, but with your mind, with your heart. And that's why I think this is something that you ask for the permission to ask. And I think this is something that is very, very polite. I don't know if you probably don't, but if you do follow baseball, and in Taiwan, we do follow baseball. Recently, there is the World Baseball Classic, and it's basically baseball games that's played among the different countries, right? And obviously, well, not obviously, but unfortunately, Taiwan did not advance to the quarterfinals. But I remember in one of the games that one of the global baseball stars, Shohei Ohtani, and a reporter from Taiwan asked the question. Now, usually these reporters ask questions in English, and then there's a translator that will help translate for Ohtani. But this particular reporter learned Japanese because this reporter had a dream of interviewing Shohei Ohtani, which is her role model, her idol. And so she learned Japanese and learned to be a journalist so that one day she would be able to ask questions. And so the main thing here is not that she asked the questions in Japanese, but she said it in Japanese. Is it okay? I'm a reporter from Taiwan. Is it okay that I ask the questions in Japanese? And this question was asked in Japanese. Okay. So this is the utmost respect. And I really believe that this is the right attitude, that you speak in Japanese, but you're asking permission that is it okay that I use Japanese to interview you for the next question? Okay, so this is the same way that the students ask the teacher, can we ask you the questions? Can you please mercifully honor us by listening? Already you know that the Buddha was listening, but you still have to ask for permission, right? So this is something that was the right attitude, the very respectful attitude to learn. So what did he say? So he asked if we can do this, right? And the Buddha says, good man. You know well that this is the right time. You may ask the question. Why is that? Because before long, the Buddha will enter nirvana, so that no one will have any doubts. Hopefully, the Buddha is not with us, will not be with us in the future. So then making sure that everybody understands, so then making sure that there's no more doubt remaining after the Buddha left us. So whatever you want to ask, you may ask. So there is a permission. Permission is granted. So then from the perspective of the disciple, time is running out. If we don't get the answers now, how will we get the answers after Buddha is no longer with us, right? So there are certain things that needed to be said by the Buddha. These are the things, the reminders that can only be said by the Buddha, right? So that's the idea, that there's no more time. We need to get the answers right now. So at that time, the sutra continued. At that great, magnificent Bodhisattva and the 80,000 Bodhisattvas then asked the Buddha with one voice. Okay, so why is it with one voice? Because it's on everyone's mind. It's everybody's idea. It's not just one person. So we talked about the great, magnificent Bodhisattva Mahasattva, right? So no, it's not just one person. He represents the whole body, but it's not one person. It's on everybody's mind. Great, magnificent Bodhisattva was the leader, but the 80,000 Bodhisattva, this is the body. This is the entire group. They all ask with one voice. It is the most important question to all. And this question has to be answered by the Buddha. What was the question? The question is, World Honor One, if Bodhisattva Mahasattvas wish to readily attain Anuttara Samya Sambodhi, which is to achieve Buddhahood, to achieve final awakening and final enlightenment, which Dharma door should they practice? This is actually two questions. This is question number one. Question number two sounds very similar. Which Dharma door will enable Bodhisattva Mahasattvas to readily attain Anuttara Samya Sambodhi? So these two questions look the same. They are the same, right? If the first question is, how does Bodhisattva Mahasattva becomes the Buddha? What should they do? Second question is, what should they do to enable these people to become Buddhas? So question 1 and 2, sometimes, maybe this is stressing. Maybe this is to emphasize the importance. But I look at this and I think about, why are you asking the same question twice? And it comes to me that my guess is that these two questions are not the same. These two questions mean different things. It's not just the same question, but asked differently. But rather, there are different meanings. Let's take a look at this. So first of all, Anuttara Samya Sambodhi means supreme, universal, and perfect enlightenment. That means Buddhahood. So how is this compared to Bodhisattva Mahasattva? As I mentioned, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, they are very close. They are much more advanced in their practice, in their enlightenment compared to us. They're very advanced, but they're still not there. So there are different levels of enlightenment that is beyond our understanding. All I can say is they are not there. So this is very similar. This is very similar to us standing on ground zero, ground floor, and looking up at a skyscraper. And one of them is 100 stories high, and the other one is 90 stories high. For us, we couldn't tell the difference because they're all very tall. And the difference is beyond what we can understand. So that's all I can say. All I can say is that's a different level, and bodhisattvas are not there yet. They're still learning, and it still takes a long time for them to learn. But to us, they're all so high above that really to us, I don't really even know what the minute differences are. So these are the two questions. And today we're going to end with these two questions. Aren't these two questions the same? And the answer, I talked about this before, I'm sure. These two questions look the same, but they're asking in a different way. If Bodhisattva, Mahasattva wish to attain, that's the first question. If they wish to attain, this means achievements on the individual level. If Joe wants to do this, what should he do, right? So this means Joe wants to do something and he needs to do this to get there. That's the first question. Now, the second question, asked in a way, what Dharma door enable Bodhisattva Mahasattva to attain? This means allowing others, guiding others, helping others to get there. So the first question is asking, if Joe wants to be rich, what should he do? The second question is, what should I do to enable someone to get rich? That's different. So I believe that these two questions ultimately mean that on the one hand, we have to look out for ourselves on our individual practice, on our individual enlightenment. On the other hand, we also have to think about, how do I help others to achieve this level of enlightenment? That's the two questions that were asked. And I think that was the very important spirit of the Sutra of Infinite Meanings. Number one, how do you get there? Number two, doesn't matter if you get there or not, but you should also know how to help others get there. And that's the key. So in chapter 2, the questions that were asked were already high, very high up there in wisdom, right? The questions that was asked was already very clear in saying that we know we have to do our homework, but we also know that it is Buddha's intention that we become the teachers, that we not only get ourselves to reach that enlightenment, but we also help others, enable others to get there too. So that's why even on the level of the question is already very, very high, that these role models understand the Buddha. These role models understand the teaching of the Buddha, the wish of the Buddha, that this role must be changed, that the students will one day become the teachers. They have to assume the position of a teaching, of a guide, of somebody who's guiding the students. That's why these two questions, even though they look the same, probably has the same answer, but they're asked in a different way. This is where we stop. The students ask this question because there are two tracks. But as we will find out, that the answer was actually only one. That means for individual to achieve Buddhahood and to helping others achieve Buddhahood, it's actually the same path. So that comes back to there is no difference. There is only one path. But on this one path, there is no difference between Mahayana, Theravada. There shouldn't be any difference in that on this path, there is both Mahayana and there is also Theravada. That's what it means. Even though we ask the question thinking that for individual might be different from group, that's why we ask them differently. But the Buddha's answer was only one. This is the same path that is for individual to achieve enlightenment, also for the group to achieve enlightenment. Okay, so we're going to end here for our Sutra of Infinite Meanings, and we're moving on. We're moving on to chapter 2. We're slowly moving, but we're surely moving on. And I hope that every time we get here, it strengthens our belief that Bodhisattva path is the path to go. And it will help you on the individual level as well as help us on the group and as a collective, as a whole. That's also very important. Thank you and have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brother Joe, for sharing your reflections on the Sutra of Infinite Meanings, chapter 2 on asking questions. As we heard in the sutra, even the Bodhisattva ask questions in order to deepen their understanding. So in this learning journey, we all may be at different levels of understanding, but by asking and sharing, we help both ourselves and others move closer towards the deeper understanding. And now I would like to open the floor. If anyone has a question for Brother Joe, please feel free to unmute yourself and ask.
That's okay. Usually we don't have any questions.
Yes, I think everyone is still reflecting on Brother Joe sharing.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. You know, we're not there at the great, magnificent Bodhisattva level yet. So we don't know. We don't, and you know, it should be okay. I mean, we have, I've said this before. I shared this before. So, you know, it's okay. We don't have to squeeze questions out of everybody. That's okay.
And then so much, Brother Joe. Yeah, this asking, may I seek your permission seeking permission to ask questions. Brother Joe guided us on that as well. So this part of asking questions, sometimes it it's just that like as if we understand and yet we don't understand and we do not know what to ask. So sometimes it's this it feels a bit stupid so to ask some certain questions. So this is the feeling that I have when I try to ask questions. So I always encourage myself to ask more questions, but the thing is knowing what to ask in an appropriate manner, that is the challenging part. And yeah, thanks so much, Brother Joe. So I learned something, seeking permission to ask questions and not to be afraid of asking questions. At the moment, I'm still reflecting. Thanks so much, Brother Joe, for joining us. Now we shall move on to our next speaker. Our next speaker today will be Brother Shu Tjeng. Thanks so much, Brother Joe. Oh, before Brother Joe leave us, shall we switch on our video to take a group photo together before we move on to Brother Shu Tjeng? I shall take the group photo. Brother Joe, you'll be leaving us soon, right? Okay, let's switch on the video if we can. Everybody, whoever would switch on. So I shall take the group photo now. 1, 2, 3. Just hold on. All right. Okay. So thanks so much. So now we shall move on to our next speaker from Indonesia, Brother Shu Tjeng, who will be sharing with us on his next topic. The topic that Brother Shu Tjeng is going to share is on the learning and awakening amid disaster relief efforts. Brother Shu Tjeng, could you please introduce yourself as well? We look forward to hearing about the lessons learned on the front lines of compassion. And please join us in welcoming Brother Shu Tjeng. Thanks so much, Brother. Over to you.
Oke, selamat pagi ya, brother and sister.
Selamat pagi.
Ya. Sorry ya, saya bahasa Inggrisnya kurang bagus ya. Oke, tapi saya tetap sharing pakai bahasa Inggris ya. Karena Shu Tjeng sudah bantu buat terjemah ke bahasa Inggris. Saya bisa mulai dan mau share screen ya.
Boleh.
Oke, boleh. Slide 6. Sekarang ialah slide 6. Yes.
Ya,
The
oke.
first-
Oke, sudah benar ya. OK，亲爱的上人、常住师父、师兄、师姐，大家好。Selamat pagi sekali lagi ya,師兄師姐, brother and sister. Good morning, dear brother and sister. Today, I'm grateful for the opportunity to share with you about the disaster relief effort in Aceh. I apologize if my English is not very clear. What I will be sharing with the brother and sister is based on the report that our Indonesian team presented to Master in January. Reporting to the Master on the flood situation in the Aceh region, as well as the relief actions carried out by Cici volunteers from the Cici Medan branch. In fact, the floods affect 3 provinces on the island of Sumatra, and Aceh was the most severely affected. I was grateful for the opportunity to serve in the relief efforts in Aceh. Almost the entire Aceh region was affected, with the disaster area covering approximately 40,000 square kilometers, an area even larger than that of Taiwan. As we remember, during the 2004 tsunami, the affected area were the coastal regions along the Indian Ocean. Look at the area marked in yellow color. This time, the majority of the affected area were located along the coastal region of the state of Malacca. Look at the area marked in red. All of this was caused by Cyclone Senyap, which brought rain for 4 consecutive days. It seemed that this is a very rare cyclone in Indonesia. Master Elwas reminds us to be mindful, as the harmony of the 4 elements of nature is no longer in harmony. After the flood for 4 days, there was no access to the flood-affected area. There was no electricity, no clean water, no communication network, and no road access. Because the transportation to the disaster area was completely cut off, the white rice consumed by the disaster victims was also covered by muddy water. Isn't this like the realm of hungry ghosts? The good news is that on the 5th day after the flood, on December 1st, disaster victims began evacuating via sea routes. As reported on social media, the volunteers also successfully sent a message. This is the our local volunteers. They sent message by WhatsApp reporting that very urgent need for drinking water, as well as many bodies seen on the road. They went to a hill where the local government had set up a relief post and installed a Starlink system for communication that powered by a generator. At that moment, I thought Ross decided to transport supplies via sea route. At that time, I recall the master teaching. If we can reach a place, as long as the road is passable and safe, we shall go and take a look. One thought is save lives. On the 3rd December, we set out carrying supplies. After arriving in the disaster area, people along the way keep asking us for the water and bread. The scan along the route was very similar to the Aceh tsunami. The condition of the disaster victim was deeply heartbreaking. We hope that the arrival of Shu Tjeng can encourage more people to come forward briefly to provide assistance. This short journey brought a great hope. On the next trip, we brought 25 tons of water and food. This time, we went into more remote areas where supplies were scarce. We moved from one location to another until nightfall. At each point, the disaster victim joyful cried out, "You are our savior." I immediately replied, "It is not me, but Master Cheng." They shot and raised their hand like this. "Sir, you are our savior. Sir, you are our savior." Until we reached a very remote location, it was already close to midnight. An old mother said, "It is too dangerous there. Please don't go again." Our assistant in the first pass has helped many people who were starving and thirsty, and they were deeply moved by the speed and courage of Shu Tjeng disaster relief effort in this flood. On our social media, many flood victims shared deeply touching response. This is one of them. She said, "Hello, admin. I would like to sincerely thank for Shu Tjeng, the assistance provided to the flood victim in Aceh Tamiang. That night, if your help had not arrived, we may not have been able to eat properly. Thanks so much for the support. May God bless you with healthy and proper safety." During the transportation of supplies, we also meet the region personally and trust a letter requesting Shu Tjeng assistance, hoping to help revive the city that had been paralyzed by the flood. On December 13, Shu Tjeng Medan deployed heavy machinery to help clear the mud and flood debris accumulated in the city. The goal was restore traffic as quickly as possible, allow business to reopen. We also set up cycling drinking water supply points. So far, the government has not yet provided cleaning water. Master remind us that education cannot be interrupted. Therefore, more than 100 volunteers were mobilized to clean the school. The school was filled with mud and children were unable to attend class. The principal said that if children could not go to school, they will have no choice but to become a beggars on the roadside. The local government also lent us a building to serve as city's disaster relief command center. To clean this building alone, 15 volunteers were mobilized under the cash food program, working continuously for 10 days. All of this helped me understand the compassion of the Buddha. In one of his past lives, in a kingdom struck by a severe drought, the people was starving. To save his starving subjects, he leaped into the sea and became a giant geese so that his flesh could be given to the people. Nowadays, time has changed. We do not leap into the sea, but we dive into the disaster areas with the same spirit and courage as the Buddha, in order to provide aid to the starving victim. This is teaching from our master. Kanan master, kanan brother and sisters. Terima kasih Shu Tjeng. Demikian sharing saya kanan.
Kanan so much, Brother Shu Tjeng, short and sweet. Brother Shu Tjeng has been a volunteer in Medan. Are you?
Medan, yeah. Yeah, Medan.
Yeah. How many years have you been a Suchi volunteer?
14 years. 18.
Kanan so much.
Yeah.
So much to learn from brother as well. Brother is so humble. When the victims thank brother for helping them. Brother so humble. You say that it's not you, it's master. It's master who is helping them. Yeah, kanan so much.
It is reflect, reflect. It is reflect.
Yeah, and you show pictures of there are many bodies there. Many body were. When was this disaster? This flooding disaster? Bila ini berlaku? I'm sorry, I didn't.
Itu topan tanggal 26 November.
Year in tahun
2025.
Oh, last year sahaja, just last year. Yeah. Wah,
Itu hujan 4 hari ya. Ya.
And so much. So
Yeah.
it's just the volunteers from Indonesia who does all the work there. Do you need international people to join in with the relief work, or is it the Indonesian volunteers?
No. This is only from Medan branch. Medan branch now a time have many volunteers lah.
So good to hear
And
that.
we have volunteers from Banda Aceh. Many places in Aceh nowadays have volunteers.
After
They
the
became volunteers. Yeah.
Yeah. So Master say rightly, with more people, more hands.
Yeah. And the Aceh always sering kena bencana ya. Yeah.
So the Suchi volunteers will be going out to help sering kena bencana. Had a lot of opportunities to in this relief work, right?
Ya, sekarang mereka juga paham harus banyak volunteer lah.
And so much. Is there a question from the floor that anybody would like to ask Brother Shu Tjeng? If not, Kanan Brother Shu Tjeng, once again for your inspiring sharing. Your experience remind us that even in challenging disaster relief work, there are many opportunities for learning, awakening, and practicing compassion. Now we shall go to our final speaker, Sister Hui. Is Sister Hui? Yes, Sister Hui is around. Sister Hui is from Malaysia. Her topic is serve others and grow within. Let us warmly welcome Sister Hui. Over to you, Sister.
Good morning. Thank you, Sister Wai Fong, and good morning, sister and brothers. Let me share my slide first. Okay. 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 Actually, I would like to share that many of us not uh, really realize that the cataract actually is actually a form of a reversible blindness immediately that have been if you treat it quickly, and it should not be overlooked because from this medical outreach, so I realized that this is very important, especially to those elderly, because due to the overcrowding in the government hospital. Therefore, the patient often have to wait much longer for treatment. And it's actually prolonged because the patient prolonged delay in surgery that actually lead them to nearly blindness and causing the patient to fall at home, and then slowly they actually fears going outdoors and suffer serious disruption to daily life. This can maybe after I can share the story of some of the patients. Um, Especially I deeply touched by one patient because when there's one patient come from Limbang also, and I realized that when I talked to the doctor, I mean after the post surgery, what the patient shouldn't do or don't, and the doctor actually told me that can you later talk to my father personally? Uh, then this made me very curious. Why? He said because my father never listened to us, and because he said every time my father, even without one eyesight, he can still riding out using his motorcycle every day. So actually, this every time he went out, the whole family actually very worried. So at that moment, I can feel the daughter concern. Uh, and after surgery was completed, and the father actually came out, I noticed something, and actually very touching because the daughter seems even happy than the patient itself. At that moment, I feel a deep sense of gratitude. Through this medical mission, the doctor not only helping patients, but also bringing peace and the reassurance to the heart of their family. So I truly grateful that I'm a part of this compassionate work. Okay, next. Sorry, how come my okay? Actually, our team, Malaysia team, following the medical outreach mission to Cambodia in year 2024, actually, we finally and formally established an ophthalmology teams, which led by Dr. Chan Bodhuat. And our two ophthalmologists is Dr. Helen and Dr. Goh Siu Yen. So our medical outreach, hang on a second, this one blocking my view. Okay, the first Malaysia ICAM outreach, because the first one is in Cambodia, and this is the first one in Malaysia, is in Miri. 21 members of Tzu Chi Medical is TIMA team, and together with a volunteer, we went to Miri and collaborate with Miri General Hospital for the first time, and over the course for 3 days, and we were blessed and successfully completed 122 cataract surgery and bringing lights and restore vision to the patients. Okay. And the first day, same, before it's like our usual Tzu Chi activity, we got to have a sincere praying because on the 8th of the first day, not the first day, before the first day, when we go there to doing setup, the Miri volunteer told us that the volunteer from the West Malaysia actually bring the rain, because the whole day when we touched down until the night is actually heavy rain, even flooded in near the area, most of the Miri area, and even near the Miri chapter there also. So that's why we was late to have our dinner, because the area is actually flooded. So luckily, slowly the rain getting smaller, and so that's why we can go back there and having our dinner. So the first day, still early morning, still raining. So we have a sincere praying before we go to start our work at the eye clinic. And from the patient registered, so from the first A to Z, all our nurses, our volunteer work together hand in hand to help to make sure that everything went smooth. From the register to pre-op examination and dilate, and after dilate, they wait at the waiting area, and we make sure everything is smooth. So after look at the picture at the bottom on the right. So after the patient dilate, so we got to wait for the lenses to come out. Then we bring them to the first floor, so OT room, because especially those Malaysia sister and brothers should know that our GH is actually very big, and the eye clinic and OT is very far away. So we need to bring these elderly and guide them batches by batches from the ground floor and transfer them to the first floor by walking and no lift. So that's why we have to bring them. So after that, from there, then we go to the operating theater. But every station from the A to Z, we actually have our volunteer to go and explain to them. And especially on the post-op care, the sisters and the nurses actually station right in front of the OT area. So once they come out, they will explain to them again and again on the do and don't after the post care. And actually after the surgery and outside, we actually purposely set up a care team, and the Miri volunteers set up a care team also to provide the warm food and warm drink and hot food, because as we all know, the surgery OT room is actually very, very cold. So most of the elderly came out, they will say sejuk, sejuk. Sejuk mean because in Malaysia it's very cold, because they got to wait in the operating theater there about an hours before that, and then the surgery is about 30 minutes. So this is the fastest way that we can do it. So that's why after they came out immediately, the care team will provide them this warm drink to calm them. And then after rest, and then we got to guide them to the pharmacies, and then for medical collection. And our TIMA pharmacies also set up another booth immediately after the pharmacies. So when they just come out from the pharmacy, and we explain again those post-surgery care, because this to avoid that they do something that not right, so it's actually affect their vision again. And okay, after the pharmacy, then we got to transfer them back to the ground floor for the post-op waiting area to wait for the final examination by the Miri doctor again. So until the patient discharged. So when we go, why we first time why we choose Miri hospital, because after hearing that the Miri GH actually faced a long backlog of cataract cases due to limited power and equipments since the COVID time 2020. and their backlog is actually more than a year. So it's about 2,000 cases, 2,000 plus cases. So that with a Tzu Chi team went there, we only able to clear about 122 is about their 1.5 month backlog. So so they are actually, so we may have need to go back and help them again. So here's some the reflection from the doctor and nurses. This is Dr. Helen from KL. Dr. Helen is initially not very active in Tzu Chi activity, but after returning from the medical outreach mission in Cambodia, she actually gradually become more involved. And through the experience, she says such service not only allow her to help others, but also enhance her professional growth and strengthen interpersonal connections. She hopes to continue participating and accumulating teams experience and benefit even more patients in the future. And Dr. Go, also from KL, Dr. Go is very committed, and the most touching, she said, the most touching moment of the surgery, not because not inside the operating room, not but it's the moment that when the patient say their sight and regain their sight, and they can see the face of their loved one clearly again. So this is truly meaning of the surgery, she said, and so to help the patient no longer live in the darkness. And Dr. Lim is from Miri Hospital, and he actually told us that without TIMA team, this is impossible mission to them, because according to Dr. Lim, they actually perform around 70 surgery per week. So with TIMA team, we can actually perform 122 in a week. So that's why immediately after the surgery, he told us that this impossible mission is actually accomplished, and more than 100 surgery were completed in just 3 days. Without the medical expertise from Tzu Chi, this would never be nearly impossible. And we during this 3 day, we have actually opened up the Miri GH actually opened 3 operating theater for this ICAM. So the total there's 6 doctors to help out. So Miri Hospital, they have actually 3 doctors, and Tzu Chi here 2 doctors. And this Dr. Cheng on the left side, the Dr. Cheng is actually the ex-head of the ophthalmologist team, but now he's actually attached to the private hospital. So because when he heard about Tzu Chi is coming to perform this medical outreach, so he decided to bring another 2 nurses to join us. So Dr. Cheng said, this is a private chance, because to them doctors, they can exchange and learning from one another and sharing knowledge. So that's why he committed that actually next time when we go there, he would like to join us too. And this Dr. Ko also is from Mili GH. Actually, she said first time she's the first time she met Tzu Chi volunteer, and feeling so grateful, because you said every step has been so meticulous and ensure patients are well taken care of until they discharge. So realize that medical isn't just about treatment, it's about humanity, sincerity, and goodness. So, and this is some of the reflections from the nurses also. Georgina and Peter, and they are actually came from Singapore. And although they are the Christians, and he once, especially Peter, he once joined our medical outreach mission in Cambodia too, and was deeply moved by the spirit of Tzu Chi volunteer. So he was so touched when he shared. They are not only contribute financially, but also devoted their time and effort to serve others. So after returning from the Cambodia camp, he just shared this experience with the members of his church and expressed his hope that there will be more opportunity to collaborate with Tzu Chi in the future. So he believed that regardless of races and religions, the spirit of serving others is truly meaningful and admirable. And Hualien also, our pharmacist, was the first time joining Tzu Chi activity also. And he was actually deeply impressed by the well-organized planning. Seeing the smile on the patient face, that treatment brought me great joy. So with the doctor treatment and volunteer care, the patient truly felt surrounded by love. It was very touching. And okay, this is some of the patient story. Young Kim Lian, this grandma, actually, when she received the notification from surgery, she was very, very excited because she has done her one cataract surgery 1 year before, but that's at the other side. So after the surgery was finally completed, she said, it feel like now my eyes can see for miles. She said like it's like 千里眼. I feel so happy, and she feel like she want to dance. So with tears in her eyes, this grandma said, "These are tears of love," and she now look forward to tidying up her home because without that, it's actually very hard for her to returning to the normal life lah. So, and this uncle Lunja, and she actually traveled for 3 hours through flood and heavy rain to reach Miri because uncle is from the Limbang. Limbang actually, when you want to go to Miri, they actually got to pass the custom. Why? Because Limbang is in between Limbang and Miri. There's Brunei, another country. So they has actually got to pass 4 custom to travel to Miri. And then some of like I told from the beginning, actually the since on the 8th of January, the rain is non-stop. So you got to travel more than the frequent the more hours to reach Miri GH. So while waiting nearly a year for her cataract surgery, she actually undergo another and unexpected surgery. So facing the consecutive health challenges, she actually shed with tears, and she feels so happy that now she can able to see the child's and the grandchild clearly once again. And Aisha also from Limbang, same, she got to travel more hours to reach here, and she has to delay her treatment because she need to take care of the child's which diagnosed the stage 3 illness, and she need to work to support family. So that's why she said after this surgery done, she was eager to return to work. Now, as she said, I can finally live without having to depend on others for everything. And this uncle Gan Chun Hui, same thing. He initially she thought she got to change the pair of glasses to make the visions clear. So she had changed many pairs of glasses, but it couldn't see also. So finally, she said after the surgery, she can do no need to depend on others and then so she said luckily with the Tzu Chi team here, with you all here, it truly make a difference because we can guide them from the register until they discharge. And this Muhammad also, this the last patient throughout the 3 days, last patient, the surgery done. He's a Malay man, he's living alone. And she suffered high blood pressure, diabetics, and kidney problem, and was nearly blind. So when asked about his plan for the future, he's actually simply like, I want to have a job. So, and this was actually deeply touched us also because to all the patient and elderly here, to gain back their vision, they actually like they no need to depend on others. It's not like loss of the independence, because loss of independence to the elderly is like equal to useless. But with the vision, regain their vision, so they can actually do their own thing more confidently. So another uncle is Ga- um, Uncle Gao, actually, his cataract surgery has been postponed many times because of the lenses, the shortage of lenses at the hospital. So when asked when he hoped to do now, he said, same thing, I want to work. And this Patricia, Auntie Patricia, she's actually from a small town from Marudi. She has lived for many years seeing double images. So walking and the daily work is very difficult for her. Several times she actually experienced a moment that sudden the eyesight suddenly turned to dim and completely the whole vision is completely blacked out. So despite seeing medical help many times without success, she keep telling herself, I don't want to become blind, to become blind. So she after the surgery, she was so happy because she is really filled with hopes and look forward to being able to clear string together traditional beads again and continue the handcraft because this is a handcraft that she loves. And this Manik Sarawak is actually the it is what do we call? Okay, the beadwork actually mentioned by this patient on the right, the picture there is referred to the traditional handcraft made by the indigenous people of Sarawak, and it was well known for its vibrant color and rich pattern. So Aisha, Patricia was very good in this, and so it's a very important culture to symbol and souvenir for of the regions. So Aisha said this is lovely works, so she would like to do this again. And the last is this sister Shen. Sister Shen, he's a long-time volunteer devoted to charity and environmental work. She actually struggled the vision problem 3 years back, but because the doc keep on telling her your another eyes can still see, so actually her surgery was scheduled only for the year of 2027. So she actually shared that although my one vision can see, but she did not dare to drive at night. And because there's only one side, so that's why she actually her eyes not pain, is just the vision not clear, but because she had to focus on the other side. So this one this action actually make her brain not brain, sorry, headache all the time because use a lot of the energy to focus on one side lah. So that's why before the surgery, she actually I think during the first day, she actually joined us to care for other patients with empathy. So after the surgery, she listened attentively to the team of nurses explain the steps for post-op care and expressing her gratitude with palm joy throughout. So she said with heartfelt appreciations, I truly feel very blessed. Now I'll be able to do even more things. This was very touching. And I would like to share the Miri volunteer and culinary team. Look at this during the food that they prepare during the appreciations night. All these culinary team, they actually first time prepare all this. They actually go and check all this vegetarian menu from the Xiaohongshu, and they learn and learn. So finally, they perform the 5 stars foods during the appreciation night. So I would like to say thanks to them. Even the Miri or GH team, when they came, they also said, "Wow, this is actually same standard as our Michelin staff restaurant." So thanks to them, and they actually went when we went there, they actually taking good care of our meals, our lunch every day, different country meal. The first day is Korean, second day is Japanese meal, and the third day is their local meal. And the last one, do we still have time to watch this video?
How long is
Sister
How
Waifu. Sorry,
How long is it, sister? How long is the video?
the video is about, I think, 2 minutes.
Sure, go ahead. Sure, please.
Okay,
We
okay.
still have time.
Okay.
Sister, there is no.
Sorry?
Is this the video? There's no voice?
Oh, no
There's
voice.
the
Okay.
audio is not on.
Oh, audio is not on. Okay, maybe I stop share again. Let me check again. Okay, share. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Saya rasa macam diri laki lah, jumpa macam kamu ini orang kan, ada spesial punya lah. Daripada masuk pendaftaran tadi kan, Ward 5 kan, Ward pakai 5 kan, saya sudah disambut dengan gitu baik di depan pintu, lepas tu masuk lagi dalam bilik tu kan, saya diiringi lagi, lepas tu hantar lagi pergi bilik operation. Lepas tu hantar lagi pergi bilik ambil obat. Semua layanan okey lah, bagi minum. Terima kasih lah, sangat-sangat terima kasih. Saya rasa kuat gembira karena saya sudah operate saya punya mata. Happy banyak-banyak. Saya
不会，因为我相信这些医生是应该是专业的，因为有你们来帮忙吗？如果你们没有你们来帮忙，应该是很乱啊，看起来。
我们也没有这样快上上下下有照顾很好，真的很好。
Gembira lah saya sudah ni presiden nampak saya punya ada gembira saya, itu gembira sekali dapat nampak itu. Saya banyak-banyak terima kasih pergi doktor sudah buat mata saya ni nampak sudah. Semua orang bekerja lah, semua di hospital sini sudah tolong saya, semua hantar saya balik pakai kursi roda lagi ini. Kuat senang juga hati saya nampak diorang. Terima kasih banyak-banyak sama diorang sudah tolong.
After the operation 你们这样一副很好 I feel like want to dance 要跳舞很开心就对了那个很难要去形容它我真的是很开心真的看到你们很清楚看到 I mean left hand side 我看到你们很萌现在 very clear really good 真的上次都没有这样真的我真的是很感恩，真的。你看我讲话哭一点。Anyway, I'm very happy 了，讲真的，我第一次掉泪，真的，老人掉泪。很感谢医生，真的，第一次的医生我也是要感谢他，他很用心的跟我做，一直跟我讲话。And then this time for the second operation. The doctor also very good, really 赞，我给他 100个赞，真的 very good。Because why？ 他知道我怕吗？他一直跟我讲话，一直跟我讲不要怕。现在我这样，他是 step by step 跟我讲，真的很好。那个医生很感恩，谢谢你医生。祝每一个医生都是要健健康康，nurse也是快快乐乐，你们也是要健健康康，是排第一，真的这个很重要，真的对，谢谢。
Okay. So for myself, being able to participate in this outreach was deeply moving. As someone from the education team, and it has been my dream to join TIMA, to contribute in TIMA for so many years already. But because in KL, the education team and the TIMA, the times is always the same. It's the second week, so that's why I'm able to join. This time, I was so touched that I can actually finally join them and walking into this medical outreach environment. So to experience a new experience lah. So I heard patients say that they have waited for years, and then I saw their smile after surgery. So this is truly a touch. And at that moment, I realized something. And what we give is not only care. What we give is also a hope to and a joy to the patient. This was not just a service activity. So it's to me it was a lesson of life, a meaningful encounter. So through giving we learn, through learning we grow. So it's actually remind me to walk the right path, doing the right thing and becoming a better person. Okay. So last is may we continue to cherish this peaceful time and use our hand, our heart, and our ability to serve the world. Because of giving, we are not only help others, we actually also grow within. Okay, thank you so much. That's my sharing.
感恩 so much, Sister Hui, for your inspiring sharing about this medical outreach in Miri. And it was done in the Miri Hospital, right? It was collaborating with the team in Miri Hospital.
Yes.
Yeah. So heartfelt, and it makes a difference in the life of the patients. And these patients who have waited for a long time for the surgery, and this impossible mission made possible. Over 100 surgeries in just 3 days. This is really great because of the organized teamwork and the dedication of everybody involved. So through this effort, the doctors and nurses realize that medicine goes beyond treatment, and it's about humanity, sincerity, and goodness. And the true meaning of surgery, the one of the sharing that you said, thank you for sharing the feedback from the doctors, the nurses, the participants, and the patients as well. And the patient does not need to live in darkness anymore. And it allows them to go back to their normal daily life. There's so much of gratitude in there as well. And the sisters learning about this spirit of serving others. Wow, the deeply meaning behind it is giving hope and joy and nurture our inner growth. So thank you so much, sister. I was in Cambodia as well, but I cannot remember seeing sister. I was in the medical team. So much.
Okay, then I stop sharing. Okay.
Is there any question from the floor? Anybody would like to ask Sister Hui? Truly heartfelt, truly. Any questions from the floor, please? Sister Siva Mani, you have unmute yourself. Do you want to ask something? So if there's no question, I just want to thank everyone for being here, and thanks to our speakers today, and thank you for your time, your heartfelt sharing, inspiring sharing, and wisdom. And we will now conclude by paying homage to the Triple Gem. And may I invite everyone to please rise. Brother Andy Ho is driving the whole family. Yeah, may I invite everyone to please rise if you are able, as we bow together. First bow, homage to the Buddha. Second bow, homage to the Dharma. Third bow, homage to the Sangha. And our final bow, homage to our abode masters, our guiding examples of compassion. Thank you so much once again for your presence today. Wishing everyone a peaceful and meaningful weekend ahead. Stay safe, take care, and we look forward to seeing you again. Thank you so much.